All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll on the show here in a matter of seconds. Call it a minute. Ginny Who, thank you for the retweet. Ginny Who, you're good people. Viewers and listeners, like and share the show. Like and share the show. A lot to cover on today's program. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. There are many parents in Albemarle County right now that are absolutely fuming as they have now found out that school bus routes have been cut, slashed, and as of now will not be offered in their respective neighborhoods. Albemarle County Public Schools is prioritizing neighborhoods where students are on the financial margin ahead of neighborhoods where students come from wealthy families. We'll unpack that today on the program. Should Albemarle County Public Schools be prioritizing busing service to neighborhoods and areas of the county with the lowest income families ahead of families from middle income and upper income stratospheres? That topic on today's program. We will also talk about a legendary business, Take It Away Sandwich Shop, that is for sale. A lot I want to talk about with this particular listing, a institutional brand, Take It Away Sandwich Shop with Tom Bowe. We'll talk about, on today's program, surge and surveillance pricing, now under a federal microscope. Surge and surveillance pricing tied to artificial intelligence. If you walk into a restaurant or into a grocery aisle and AI is able to read your credit card, AI able to read your phone, track you in some capacity, could the cost of a watermelon, a gallon of milk, or a steak dinner at the local steakhouse cost deep-pocketed individuals more money than those on the financial margin? That topic on today's show. On a positive note, Judah, it could happen during the program, so.
Yeah.
Positive note. The behind the scenes of the I Love CVille show could be a show in and of itself as we put this program together every day. Neil Williamson's Free Enterprise Forum will be on a topic of discussion today. Mr. Williamson, I hope you're watching the program. You do a damn good job, my friend, covering government and policy and being an advocate for the free market, and as you like to call it, housing everywhere for everyone. He has some commentary on the Free Enterprise Forum when it comes to the Albemarle County GIS. It's the clunky website utilized to figure out information about real estate around Albemarle County. He is in particular highlighting the photography that is on the Albemarle GIS as it applies to plots and surveys in people's houses and how it is completely outdated and needs massive revamping. I want to talk about that on today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching on Facebook, please like the show like Tom Stargell just did, the Golden Apple Award winner. We appreciate you, Tom Stargell. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet the show like Ginny Who did. That would mean the world to us. If you're on YouTube, hammer the like button and subscribe to the show on YouTube. We work hard for you. The only thing we ask in return is liking, sharing the show, and Judah, spreading the gospel. That is the I Love CVille program. My friend, I'm going to ask you this question on camera before we start and get into the first topic. Which headline do you find most compelling? I'm going to ask it when the show starts, instead of off-show fodder, giving you a heads up for an answer. I cannot wait to get into the bus topic with you, Judah B. Wickower. He's a valued member of this program, Judah Wickower, a valued member of the community. The response of the passing of Liza, his dog, I found positively overwhelming. I don't know if you did as well, Judah. It was absolutely beautiful. Let's rock and roll, Judah Wickower, when you are ready, my friend.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. Good Tuesday afternoon, guys. I'm Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille show. It's a pleasure to connect with you on a talk show that is the crossroads of politics, policy, real estate, entrepreneurship, venture capital, investment, small business, sports, quality of life, lifestyle, and entertainment. What we try to do with this program is offer you the 2024 version of a digital, visual, and audio newspaper with various sections for you to digest on demand at your leisure. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. I'm proud of the setup of today's show. Some programs we start, I'm not so proud of. Today's show, one of them, I'm excited to host and execute. Very excited to welcome Judah Wickower here in a matter of moments. We're going to talk the topics that I find incredibly, just get up for each morning and can't wait to learn about with this community. We'll talk schools and Albemarle County Public Schools, cutting bus routes. You have neighborhoods in our community that are back with affluence, back with resources. Neighborhoods in this community like Glenmore, neighborhoods in this community like Bel Air, neighborhoods in this community like Floridan, Ednam Forest, and Greencroft, who are losing busing service in Albemarle County, having their bus routes cut, parents now scrambling, the chatter of moms groups, the conversation of text message change. How will we get our kids to school the 23rd of July? We're going to have to scramble and make efforts. This is yet a theme and topic for another school year. Albemarle County has released information to parents. We will prioritize, the public school system says, the routes of low-income families before the routes of high-income and affluent families. I want to unpack that topic on today's show. Should Albemarle County Public Schools prioritize busing children to school based on their socioeconomic standing or status of their household? So much to unpack on that topic. We'll talk the UVA Law School ranked #1 in the nation. 2023 graduates of the UVA Law School within 9 months of graduating are earning a median salary of $225,000 per year. Another school at the University of Virginia ranked #1 or in the top 5 or top 10 in the country. That topic on today's program. Take It Away Sandwich Shop is for sale. The asking price is $195,000. We are in the business brokerage business. We broker quite a few sales in the Central Virginia market. I found this one compelling. I will offer why I think Take It Away Sandwich Shop is a great opportunity for somebody out there. And if you're interested, please let me know, and we'll help perhaps put an acquisition into play. The FTC is investigating surveillance and surge pricing. Thank God they're doing this. Can you imagine going into a grocery store and having artificial intelligence understand the data behind your credit card purchases? Your Apple Pay purchases, and say, oh, Judah loves watermelon, and Judah loves Snicker bars, and Judah loves brown ales. When he goes into the grocery store, we're going to make watermelons, Snicker bars, and brown ales 2x more expensive than it would be for Jerry, who drinks IPAs, has an affinity for oranges, and likes Reese's peanut butter cups. Can you imagine using an online booking app and utilizing your cell phone number to book a reservation at a steakhouse, and that steakhouse saying, oh, this guy's a business traveler. He's used his cell phone to book reservations at other steakhouses and other major metro markets, and on the data we have on his phone or through his credit card, we know he has money and he can afford $125, $150 porterhouses As a result, when he checks in tonight at the steakhouse, we're going to surveillance price his steak. And it's going to be a different price point than the average Sally or the average Joe. That is a terrifying proposition. So much to cover on this program, including Neil Williamson of the Free Enterprise Forum. Neil Williamson, the type of individual where you would love to belly up to a bar with and say, Neil, let's talk about Albemarle, Charlottesville, and have a cold beer and see what's going on in the community. He said the Albemarle County GIS needs significant work. He highlights the photos utilized for surveys, plots, the land that you own in Albemarle County, and how the photography on the GIS is so piss poor and outdated that it is legitimately hurting professionals who rely on this database for the most important transactions of people's lives, their houses. So much to cover on today's program. I'm excited to connect with you guys, the viewer and listener. Judah Wickhauer on a two-shot. I want to weave you in before I offer some commentary on the first topic. Which storyline today do you find most compelling and why, my friend?
We've got a lot of good ones. I think
Today's show is good.
Yeah. It's interesting about the bus routes. I think there's going to be a lot of, how do I put it? There's going to be a lot of, I think, tender footing.
Tender footing.
Yeah, I think it's
Tender footing.
I think it's a topic that could get some people very angry, and I'm going to be careful with what I say.
I think this topic is going to get people extremely hot and bothered.
I think I'm interested in the surveillance pricing. I think it's going to be a long time before we really see that starting to take place.
I think it's taking place right now.
In actual places of business. Online, I'm sure it's going on. And
it's definitely happening right now with your cookies, your browser history, and some of the transactions you've done in the past on your phone or through your Amazon or through the sites that you visited. In person, I guarantee you it's happening right now. Is it happening at the Micro, the Preston Avenue, Downtown Mall, West Main level? Probably not. But is it happening with the type of restaurant chains that have many points of sale, many locations that understand the history? If it's a restaurant chain that has 100, 150 locations, I guarantee you surveillance and surge pricing is happening now. I assure you it's happening in grocery stores.
How many of those places? See, we can get into it later if you want, but
we should get into it later. But go ahead, ask your question.
How many of those places you're talking about, restaurants, grocery stores, how many of those places don't have prices stuck to a little,
Mark, you're talking sticker price.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll offer a little resistance on that. How many times do you go into a restaurant and it says scan a QR code for a menu?
That's not what I'm talking about.
You scan the QR code for a menu, the menu pops up on the phone. That QR code menu that pops up on your phone can have surveillance or surge pricing based on the data, your transaction history at that respective location. If you go into a chain steakhouse, if you go into a chain Italian restaurant, if you go into the Cheesecake Factory, I'm just throwing an example out there, and you have a history of purchasing a butter fudge pecan cheesecake slice, and they know it, and you scan the QR code, who's to say they won't offer that butterfudge pecan cheesecake at a 25% escalation because you've purchased that slice of cheesecake four out of your last 5 visits?
It's going to require a lot for what we know restaurants do not have buku bucks in their falling out of their back pockets just waiting to be spent on AI to generatively change prices on an online QR code menu for Jerry, who loves the whatever.
What was it?
Banana cream pie.
Banana cream pie.
I don't
I'll push back on you. The big box brands, the vertically
I know what you're
integrated
saying.
brands with economies of scale do have those resources. And this is another unfortunate market advantage for the brands and businesses that have the economies of scale and have the financial resources to pursue deeper profits and more profits. We should table this discussion because it's going to be a fascinating one. Put me on a one shot, put the lower third on screen, and get ready to offer some compelling commentary on the Albemarle County Public School topic. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic in Albemarle County right now amongst parents is the cutting, the slashing, the elimination of bus routes yet again. This topic is an unfortunate one that happens in the beginning of every school year. Parents about a month, less than a month before school, are finding themselves scrambling because bus routes are being eliminated because they don't have the driver personnel to handle all the routes in a vast county like Albemarle. And right now, the routes that are being eliminated, kiboshed, the routes that are being crushed and slashed are the ones in affluent neighborhoods. Glenmore, its busing routes eliminated. Bel Air, its busing routes eliminated. Floridan, Ednam Forest, Greencroft, its busing routes slash and cut. And a lot of folks are asking this question right now. Albemarle County has on the record said it is prioritizing providing service to the schools with the lowest income families and also the routes that were not staffed last year. So if you're in a neighborhood or in a zip code or on a street of affluence or wealth or a household income that is well above median average, the likelihood of you having a route at your disposal right now is being diminished. I have this question for you, the viewer and listener. Judah Wickhauer will weave you in, then viewers and listeners will ask your questions as well. Carly Wagner, we'll get to your comments in a matter of moments. We have Maria Marshall Barnes watching the program. Hammer the like button. Tom Stargell, this is right up your alley. Should bus routes be tied to socioeconomic status and household income levels? Can't wait to hear what you have to say on this one, Judah Wickhauer. I'm giving you the pleasure of going first, my friend.
All right. I'm going to say, should they be? No. But all things considered, I think we're basically talking about triage in a way. And
What do you mean by triage? Doing the best you can with what you got?
Yeah.
The best of a worse situation is what you're saying.
You have to make a decision.
Okay. The best of a bad situation is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there may have been other ways to go about this. They could have found ways to create stops for where people can drop off their kids and try to utilize the buses they have to take more people. I don't know, but given what we know, which is very little, I think you've got to make a decision. And the alternative, would we prefer they were cutting the lowest income neighborhoods? I'm not saying that this is the right decision, but it's probably a better decision than some of the other choices they could have made.
Kelly Jackson watching the program. Maria Marshall Barnes watching the program. Deep Throat watching the program. This is a hot topic. We knew that this was going to be a hot topic. I have a lot to offer on this topic. First thing I want to offer. This is the third or fourth year in a row that we're in this position.
Yeah.
How are we still in the position of not having bus routes and enough drivers for school buses in Albemarle County?
I agree.
This is an indictment of the superintendent and his cabinet and his office, and I'm talking Dr. Matthew Haas. I have said on this program the three top priorities for any school system, especially a public school system.
Getting kids to the actual school.
A, get the kid to school on time and safely. B, make sure they're safe in the school. C, get the kid home on time and safely. The three most important criteria of a school system: get the kid to school on time safely, make sure they're safe in the school, and get them home on time and safely.
Can't we just bundle those up as one in safety and then add that perhaps the school should be teaching the kids? Because I think that
Those are the three most important things. Teaching the kids is fourth. You can't teach the kids
if they're not safe.
if they're not safe and at the school. You cannot teach the kids if they're missing the first period because there's no bus route to get them there for first period. You can't do it. This is an indictment of the superintendent, number one. Number two, it shows a lack of creative, enterprising, or problem solving. We've offered a number of problem-solving strategies on this program, including choosing smaller vehicles to transport kids because smaller vehicles do not require CDLs. We're still utilizing massive tin cans that require red tape and certification that is difficult to attain. Why? We've offered the suggestion, and Judah touched on it already, of park and rides. Having pickup spots where parents shuttle their kids in short jaunts, short efforts, short time frames to one location where the bus can then pick them up. Why is this not being emphasized? Why are we not hiring more bus drivers?
I'm sure they're trying.
They've raised the pay, clearly not enough. Hiring is a reflection of pay scale. Pay scale. They've got to figure out a way to pay bus drivers to sit in a tin can surrounded by rugrats that don't listen to them, that disrespect them, that are sneezing on them, that are coughing on them, that are spewing COVID all over them.
I'm glad you're not the...
The one that's creating the marketing or the copy for the position?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll offer you $14 an hour. All you have to do is wake up at the butt crack of dawn, shuttle around 50 kids that are going to puke on you, sneeze on you, disrespect you, cuss you out, and spew COVID all over your face, and we'll give you $27,000 a year. That should not be the copywriting for this position.
Sign me up.
That should not be the copywriting. We kid because the show is part entertainment. It's part education and part enlightenment. Here's the educational and enlightening piece. The crux of this topic is, should they prioritize households with income levels that are considered low income ahead of households with income levels that are considered upper income? One of the ways a family could be upper income in its earning is having two parents that work. Two parents that work make transporting kids to and from school next to impossible, especially if that job requires in-person attendance in an office setting. Saying your family should be punished because of your income level is profiling. It's a travesty, it's an injustice. That household may have gotten to that level of income because both parents are working 50, 60 hours a week and are busting their ass. Furthermore, this thing fires me up right here. Can you tell?
Yeah. I knew it would.
Furthermore, when you start cutting the amenities associated with public schools and you start marginalizing the families of resource, you will push those families of resource away from your public school system and into other school settings like homeschools or private schools, which creates the gentrification of the public school system. If you say to the public school families that have resources, we are going to cut the offerings we're providing to your kids and you as parents, parents will say, hey, you're not treating me the right way. I'm going to consider other options. And in that scenario, you're going to create a public school system potentially of lower income and middle income families and students, which gentrifies the public school system experience and strengthens and fortifies the private school experience. Remember, much of funding in public schools is tied to enrollment. Mm-hmm. If enrollment drops, and Weldon Cooper's got plenty of data out there that public school enrollment's going to drop. If enrollment drops, funding drops. If funding drops, you have this snowball, domino, cyclical, hideous effect. Viewers and listeners, your thoughts. Judah Wickower, jump in here.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong. There's a lot to unpack, but what's the alternative? I mean,
I've offered an alternative on this program, a private, an enterprising business group creating a private shuttle service that forms a joint venture with Albemarle County Public Schools. I've offered alternative solutions, smaller buses, vans that don't require CDL drivers, park and rides, raising the pay of drivers. There's plenty of alternatives. We are seeing a lack of problem solving and enterprising from leadership in the county.
Okay, but let's say that they've been working on
They've been working on this for 5 years. I'm sorry I'm interrupting. I'll stop talking.
I'm just saying, let's say they've been working on those things, one or more of them, and they haven't panned out. Maybe they're working on smaller buses with people that don't need to be certified for the larger buses, but they've run into legal issues, and I don't know.
Put the second lower third on screen. Rotate those two lower thirds so the viewers or listeners that are just chiming in understand what we're talking about. The lower third is the plate that you see on screen that has the topic, what we're talking about, in kind of a succinct nutshell. Lower third is a television term from the TV background days. Judah, the role of a CEO and the superintendent is a CEO.
It's to get done.
It's to get shit done. It's to problem solve.
I agree. I'm not really against anything you're saying here.
The
I'm just
number
trying to
one thing
provide
that I do at this company, at the companies that we run, you probably know this answer of 14 years of working here. What is the number one thing I do here?
put out fires.
Put out fires and solve issues that our clients that pay us cannot figure out themselves. And that's why they pay us. We put out fires through the people we know, the experiences we have, and the enterprising ability that we've developed. That is the job of the superintendent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. They should have been on this. They should have solved this a long time ago. I'm with you 100%. There's really no good answer to this. Like I said, better the affluent neighborhoods than the low-income neighborhoods. Imagine the outcry if they decided to cut the low-income neighborhoods first. But this is still, like I said, this is still a triage answer to something that shouldn't require triage.
Kelly Jackson, this is a great comment from Kelly Jackson. Kelly Jackson, you need a podcast on the I Love CVille Network. Let's make it happen. She says this. Think about this as well. The students riding on the bus to elementary and middle and high school are the students from families that are lower and middle income. The students not riding on the bus to elementary, middle, and high school are students from families that have resources. What is that going to do at the school in the hallways from a division or divisiveness standpoint? It's a fantastic point, KJ.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic point. Kelly Jackson, she says, if my daughter was not a driver and her bus got cut, I would be so pissed off. I work and travel for work. Just because of my neighborhood, it does not mean we do not need the bus service. Why should I have to pay? Right. The county should pay the drivers more. Would this be discrimination based on perceived neighborhood costs? The cost of a home in Glenmore 15 years ago versus now is absolute insanity. That's very true. We
Yeah.
know that firsthand.
And
We know
you
that
also,
firsthand.
and you also may have people that live in nice neighborhoods because they had a home passed down to them by I don't know how often that happens in Charlottesville, but not everybody. I mean, it's the same in places like 10th and Page. There may be a lot of people there who have had a home passed down to them. That's
We moved-
not necessarily an indication of your financials.
Our respective family, my respective family, moved from Glenmore to the Ivy side of town to cut down on commute. We lived in Glenmore for 4 years. The vast majority of the families in Glenmore, which is an affluent, beautiful neighborhood, are 2 working parents. Combined household income amongst 2 working parents. Saying to a household, you will be penalized because both your parents are working 50 to 60 hours a week, and now you have to figure out a way to get your kids to school, is a travesty. And a parent in Ivy made this comment to me. The neighborhoods, Bel Air and Ednam, are the furthest from the Henley Middle School.
Right. I was thinking about that too.
They are cutting the bus service from the ones the furthest from the middle school.
Yeah.
Maria Marshall Barnes watching the program. She says, not again. This is a joke. They cannot seem to get it right. Taxes in Albemarle are ridiculous, and this is unacceptable. Regardless of income, Maria Marshall Barnes, her photo on screen, transportation is needed. Parents have to work. Maria Marshall Barnes, Fluvanna County Public Schools is currently offering free food to all students, and yet Albemarle County Public Schools cannot seem to get kids to school. It's a great point. Carly Wagner watching the program, her photo on screen. Neighborhoods, Carly Wagner says, like Glenmore, could very likely provide private bus service for a fraction of the price that Albemarle County Public Schools spends. And 1 bus, 1 driver, 1 private route divided by a large number of families. If you're talking about equality, no. Access to buses should be same for all. But if you're talking about equity, that principle would say yes. Lower income families have greater access. Carly Wagner also says total funding is a bogus stat because per pupil spending is up and continues to grow. Funding should drop if you're serving fewer students. The truth is per pupil spending is still through the roof, and those that homeschool and do private schools still pay full taxes but don't utilize the public schools, which helps subsidize those remaining in public schools. And lastly, Carly Wagner says the superintendent is not legally supposed to be the CEO. He works for the board. He is simply supposed to do the work the board directs, the school board directs him to do. So she's calling out the Albemarle County School Board. I want to push on the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. I have said this on previous shows. When does the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors say, we're giving you, what was the number for public schools? Was it like $250, $300 million? Don't quote me on that. It's hundreds of millions of dollars that the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors provides the Albemarle County School Board to allocate. It's the largest line item of the yearly budget is the public schools in Albemarle.
Yeah.
When does the Board of Supervisors say, we're going to hold this money in escrow until you figure out this busing? We're going to leverage the allocation of these hundreds of millions of dollars until you, the public school system, figure out this key component of running your business. When does that happen?
In Albemarle County, never.
Deep Throat watching the program. Deep Throat highlights if you cut the bus routes with affluent neighborhoods, you will push more kids into private school. You have to drive anyway. That's what the thinking is going to be.
Yeah.
He's 100% right. Deep Throat also says this, his photo on screen, please. I do think that if you embed progressivity into every allocation decision, you overcorrect. Make your tax system progressive, it is, and then do everything else evenly. Sage advice.
Yeah.
Ginny Hu watching the program, her photo on screen. There are plenty of people who are able to afford to live in those neighborhoods because both parents work and they rely on bus transportation to be able to do so. 1,000%. Seen that firsthand. Seen that firsthand. If both parents are clocking 60 hours a week, they're going to be ahead of the median income. The HUD median income for a family household median income in the Charlottesville metro area is $124,200. $124,200. You got two parents that are working, you divide $124,200 by two. You got two parents clocking 62K. Those two parents, if each of those parents clocks 63K combined, works 50, 60 hours a week, they're ahead of the median income.
Yeah.
Deep Throat, in response to Carly Wagner, C-Wags. Deep Throat is on Twitter, responding to C-Wags on Facebook. The expenditure per pupil at Albemarle County from 2017 to 2022 increased by 35%.
Yeah.
We should say that again. From 2017 to 2022, the cost per educating a student in Albemarle County jumped 35%. But the instructional expenditure per pupil only up 27%. Deep Throat, you guys make the program better. KTP watching the program. She hasn't commented in a while, but she's a key member of the family. Katie Pearl, her photo on screen. When you elect the same type of school board members over and over again and don't vote for a change, you should not be surprised when you get the same results with no solutions. God, if you were here right now, I would give you a chest bump and hug you. And the most friendship and platonic way possible. When you elect the same type of school board members over and over again and don't vote for a change, you should not be surprised when you get the same results with no new solutions. I'm responding to that in real time on my Facebook page. KTP. Damn good comment. Enter, publish, send. 100%. Kelly Jackson, the school needs to offer free before school care and after school care for free for the non-bus students so people can get to work and work a full day of, 100%.
Would that involve them dropping their kids off early and picking them up late, though?
Yes.
That means that
yes. That still screws or
burden.
Burden's a better word.
It's a burden not just on the parent; it's a burden on the child who now.
But at least the kid's getting there, and the parent's not missing work. Jude, if you told me this, I cannot come to work. I'm coming to work here on out an hour late because the bus can't get my kid to school. And from here on out, 5 days a week, I'm going to leave an hour late. I'm going to come to work an hour late and leave an hour early because of my kid. Do you know what I would say to you? I would say,
another job.
I wouldn't say find another job because I think you do good work. I would say you need to figure out a way to make up that time. And that could include you working on the weekends. Because if you're coming an hour late to work on Monday and leaving an hour early on Monday to pick up your kid, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's 10 hours a week. I would say you'd have to make up that 10 hours a week in another time. And that 10 hours a week that you're going to have to make up is going to be around the business's schedule and not your leisurely schedule when you're in bed watching a Friends marathon because you have a crush on Phoebe Buffay. Who was your favorite? Phoebe wasn't your favorite? Is it Rachel?
I never really watched Friends.
You didn't watch Friends? Jesus.
I mean, I've seen it. I've watched it.
Who did you have a crush on?
I mean, do we really want to go through all the...
Can you name any of their on-air names?
Oh, we're still talking about Friends?
Yes. Name any of their on-air names. I just said Phoebe Buffay because you can't pick that one.
One of them's named Rachel, right?
Oh God, that's
Did
so
I get
good.
one?
I actually did just say Rachel.
Did you?
Yes.
That's probably why I remembered it.
Okay. Can you name any of the on-air guys' names?
I remember Chandler,
Yes, Chandler Bing.
Ross.
Ross, God, you're so good. Ross Geller. What was the name of his sister? You got this. Starts with an M.
Yeah, I don't know.
Monica. And don't forget about Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah, nobody forgets Joey.
That's the first topic of the show. And Maria Marshall Barnes highlights this also involves and falls on teachers. Teachers are getting the shaft too. 100%. 100% teachers get screwed by this as well. This is like the third or fourth year in a row we've dealt with this. Good God.
Yeah.
I mean, hold your school board accountable and your superintendent accountable. And to Katie Pearl's point, you know what? You made your own bed. This is who you voted for.
Yeah. Sad but true.
There it is. Frank real talk for you right there. Tom Stargell, the Golden Apple Award winner and the retired Albemarle County teacher. Obviously, this is not fair, but Superintendent Matthew Haas is doing what he always does. I bet there will be 3 days of fussing and then it will go away. Threats of lawsuits that go away in 3 days. And it has worked for him every time. Matt Haas has used this on every cover-up, every test score, every woke policy, every indoctrination program, and every academic failure. I could go on, but Matthew Haas is the story, and it works because no one follows through on the big threats. Meanwhile, he laughs and brags to his school board that backs him up every time. That's a Golden Apple Award winner, retired Albemarle County teacher speaking right there. Mm-hmm. It's 1:12 p.m. We have to get to the next topic. Judah Wickower, what's the next highlight on screen?
UVA law.
Lower third on screen, please. Siri, set the timer for 90 seconds. She's supposed to say 90 seconds. Siri, set a timer for 90 seconds.
There's already a 1 minute and 30-second timer, but I can't set another. What should I name the new one?
Judah.
Oh, good grief.
1 minute and 30-second Judah timer. Counting down.
Monica Geller. The University of Virginia School of Law has landed #1 in 2 new rankings of the country's law schools. In a Princeton review, UVA Law reclaimed #1 spot in the Best Professors and Best Classroom Experience category. As reported in the 2024 rankings, the law school is also #2 in Best Career Prospects, #2 in Best Quality of Life, #4 in Toughest Schools to Get Into, and #5 Best School for Federal Clerkship. Listen to this, Judah. After 9 months of graduation, when the American Bar Association collects its data, 99.3% of UVA law students in the 2023 graduating class had an income median salary of $225,000. $225,000. Another top ranking for UVA, another significant payday for UVA students. And ladies and gentlemen, these are the students that work for 10 or 15 years, get burnt out, make a boatload of bank, and say, gosh, I had a great time in Charlottesville partying at Boylan Heights and drinking cocktails at Zocalo. Why don't I move back to Charlottesville with my boatload of money, my Scrooge McDuck bags of cash, and buy up some real estate and change the look and flavor of Charlottesville to Albemarle County? Happens every damn day. Some of us never leave. You may be looking at somebody. Others go leave, make money, and come back. UVA Law #1, class of 2023 graduates, median salary of $225,000. Next headline, Judah Wickower, what is it? Tell your fans, tell the adoring public.
Next headline, Free Enterprise Forum has an interesting article on the Albemarle County GIS and how it needs work.
Neil Williamson's watching the program right now. Neil Williamson, you do yeoman's work. Donate and support to the Free Enterprise Forum, please. Do you want to do the who, what, when, where, why of Neil Williamson's commentary?
I'm terrible at who, what, when, where, and whys.
You just have to be succinct. You're not terrible about it. Just be succinct.
All right. The Albemarle County GIS is running about 6 years behind.
How many years?
6.
Okay.
And this is obviously leading to issues. Anybody who's looking at a plot of land or wanting to buy or wanting to sell or just learn something, they're going off of, I mean, 6 years may not sound like a whole lot, but
6
think
years is
in terms
ages
in
in
terms
the
of,
digital age.
and also in terms of development.
And in terms of
Land
real estate
development.
transactions,
Yeah.
changes.
Right.
Albemarle
Imagine-
County GIS, Neil Williamson writes, utilizes imagery from 2018. The GIS is the Geographic Information System. Basically, the clunky, crappy, outdated websites that jurisdictions allow the public use to scour and source real estate data, like transaction history, like sales history,
Yeah.
like acreage, like quality of construction. And he says Albemarle County's GIS is using imagery from 2018. He says this outdated pictography would not be acceptable for use in Albemarle County's assessor's office or in the community development department. He says Albemarle has paid for much more recent pictography for staff, but has not made this available to the public via the GIS. Then he uses some excerpts from CAR President
Burroughs.
Burroughs. Is that AB? Is it Ann? Is it Ann? I should know that. I'm pretty sure it's Ann. CAR President Burroughs sums it up in saying, dude, the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors uses the GIS. Get the GIS up to speed so realtors at our mass supply chain of professionals have data that's legit.
And makes the, I think his last point is probably one of the most salient, in the fact that taxpayers paid for the acquisition of the imagery and should have access to it.
Yeah! Right?
I think that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I'm going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars on a house and a lot and some land, but I'm going to look at something from 2018 that may or may not be correct.
Yeah.
And as a result of it may or not being correct, I'm going to have to spend even more money for professionals to trust but verify. Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. Dude, what the hell?
Right.
Neil Williamson, your commentary on point per usual. Support the Free Enterprise Forum. Next topic, Judah Wickow.
Next topic, sandwiches for sale.
Okay, I got to caveat this. Charlottesville Business Brokers, one of our companies, we broker the sale of businesses in Central Virginia. We just helped broker the sale of Kroby's on Avon Extended. We helped broker we do this all the time. One of our primary sources of revenue. We are in this game. If you're interested in this business, reach out to me via DM. We'll help make it happen. Non-disclosures are going to be a part of this. You're going to be signing non-disclosure agreements, but we'll help make it happen. Take It Away Sandwich Shop is for sale. Rotate the lower thirds on screen if you could. The next three. The asking price is $195,000. There are 2 locations, one on Elliewood, the institution, and a newer one in Dairy Market. Tom Bowe is the owner. He's an A-plus guy, knows the business inside and out. Take It Away Sandwich Shop, ladies and gentlemen, is a fantastic opportunity. A fantastic opportunity to buy an iconic business in this community. Catering, a business that is grab and go, that has proven the test of time, including surviving of a pandemic.
And then expanding.
And expanding. The house sauce, the scalability potential, the growth ability potential with the house sauce.
Growth ability.
It's a Jerryism. Is significant. The growth ability with the catering, significant. The location scalability, the brand scalability, franchise potential, significant. If you're interested, DM me. And on that note, 17 businesses under our purview currently active and looking for buyers. Charlottesville Business Brokers, charlottesvillebusinessbrokers.com. The last topic, Judah Wickower, lower third on screen. You want to set the stage on this? I think you and I are going to, let's spend 5 or 7 minutes on this one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
The FTC, the acronym stands for what?
Federal Trade Commission?
Yeah, Federal Trade Commission, but no Monica Geller, Phoebe Buffay, or Rachel Green?
I mean, am I supposed to know all their names if I didn't care about the show?
I apologize. The FTC is investigating surveillance and surge pricing. I'll give you an example of surveillance or surge pricing. A business traveler utilizes the reservation app Resy. They utilize Resy to make a reservation at a steakhouse. Resy tracks your phone number and your order history.
RESD?
What?
I think it's RESD.
Just as long as it's not resin. It's a joke.
I know.
You didn't think it was funny. Is it, what's the ordering app? What's the booking app?
I'm talking about RESD?
Isn't that what I said?
I thought you said Resi.
Resdy. R-E-Z-D-Y.
Yeah.
They utilize your phone number to book reservations. You're a business traveler. You like steakhouses. The data from your previous dining experiences says you'll pay X amount of dollars for a New York strip. You go to a restaurant on your next business trip. You use Resdy to book the reservation. That restaurant says, oh my gosh, this guy's got an affinity for New York strips. We have a QR code that he's got to scan for our menu. Because we know he likes New York strips, and because we know in Miami he paid $65 for a New York strip, ours is currently offered at $48. Why don't we bump the price to $65 when he scans our QR code? Surveillance pricing. There's a good example. Another example of surveillance or surge pricing. You're at a grocery store. Your phone's in your pocket. Walmart, a Target. Economies of scale and deep resources. Walmart and Target. A Whole Foods. Who owns Whole Foods? You know this, Judah.
Amazon.
Amazon owns Whole Foods. You're walking around Amazon-owned Whole Foods. You got an order history that loves watermelons, OxyPad, zit cleaning, blackhead removing pads, some bacon bites, some marshmallows, and some creamy chocolate milk. Your order history says you like the Oxy blackhead zit removing pads and some creamy chocolate milk. You purchased it last week. You're in Whole Foods right now. Oh, AI, artificial intelligence, see your order history. You use Apple Pay or that MasterCard that's linked to your phone. I'm going to surge price those OxyPads and that creamy chocolate milk and that watermelon and those bacon bites.
I'm not with you on this one.
How are you not with me on this one? It literally works with cookies tracking your purchasing online. You've already said that happens.
Yeah, if you're shopping online where there's when you're walking, do you ever go into a grocery store? Because they have prices on like everything. It's not like you're wandering through the aisles wondering what stuff costs.
How much longer is that the case? Have you not
You're
gone
right.
into,
How much longer is that the case?
have
But
you not gone
for
to
the
grocery
time
stores
being-
where it says scan for pricing?
For the time, no, I've never been to a grocery store that said scan for pricing. Scan for your price.
You don't think that's going to happen?
I think it may, but there's going to be some pushback, and I think stuff like this FTC investigation may put a kibosh on that. My other interesting thought on this is we deal with this daily.
Oh, we definitely deal with this lately. When you go to a seafood place
No,
and
no,
it says market rate lobster.
No.
What do you mean no?
Because that's not surge pricing. That's saying that, okay, today we've got cod and it costs $20 a pound, and tomorrow we've got sockeye salmon, and
Okay.
it's $27 a
How about
pound,
this?
and we can't just charge you
How about this?
one price. But
Market rate seafood. At 5 o'clock, that lobster roll is $10. At 8 o'clock, when demand is through the roof and we have a wait list of people, that lobster roll is $35. It's called happy hour.
Yep, there's happy hour.
Surge pricing.
But even worse, and something that we all put up with all the time, is any kind of booking. We're talking airline flights. I just found out trains do this too. Apparently, trains can be bloody expensive if you don't buy the
Book
tickets
way in
far
advance.
in advance.
I know. Wasn't that shocking?
Hotels.
Yeah.
You want to talk about surge pricing? Those are egregious, and we all put up with it. So I have to wonder if once this really gets started, and heaven forbid, grocery stores start taking the prices off the walls and the kiosks and the shelves, and restaurants stop putting prices on their menus, are we really going to put up a whole lot of a fight?
We should.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm just saying.
Do you
we
understand
put up-
surge and surveillance pricing could charge deep-pocketed individuals more for the same goods
Do you understand that
they charge lower
You
income
understand
people?
that one seat on an airplane can vary from like $100 to like $1,000?
You use MasterCard on your iPhone. MasterCard is linked to a payment method on your iPhone. MasterCard, let's just say your Bank of America Visa. Your Bank of America Visa, your Bank of America app is on your phone. Your Bank of America says, this app says, this guy's got 6 figures plus in cash sitting in a money market account earning 5.2, 5.3%. That Bank of America app on your phone bangs you through artificial intelligence and says, this guy, we're going to charge him a gallon of milk 30% more than somebody that has $32 in their bank account. We're going to bang him. We're going to hit him. We're going to chop him. He's going to get popped because he's got cash in a reserve account. And he's not going to care that he's going to pay an extra 30% on a gallon of milk. That's effed up.
I'm not sure. I still think that. Still think that's a long ways away.
Long ways away. What?
Because
We've already indicated that this is already happening. You
Yes,
and I are given
in
many examples it's already happening.
in certain places,
And we already know that artificial intelligence every day is happening. I'll stop talking, I apologize. We know AI is having rapid improvements every day. You're telling me a Bank of America app on your phone and artificial intelligence can't bang you for having cash reserves and a 30% surge price or surveillance price?
I mean, what you're saying sounds extremely sinister. Like your Bank of America card is going to take money out of your account and not even give it to the grocery store, but just say, "Hey, he's not going to mind. He just paid $200 in groceries. We're gonna somehow, I don't know."
So Bank of America, he's going to put it on his credit card. The balance is going to be up, and 18, 19% interest is going to be on that balance.
First of all, I've got no love for banks.
I know you do. That's why I'm shocked that you're standing up for the banks here.
Well, because you're making it sound like the bank is going to have like a direct line to all the grocery stores and the places that you purchase things, and Kroger is gonna ping your bank, and your bank is gonna say, "Oh yeah, he's got the money. Charge him an extra 20%." I don't have any love lost with the banks, and I certainly don't trust them. But I don't see them. I don't see them getting that entangled with other businesses.
You and I were in stark disagreement on that.
Okay.
You're one of your most famous lines on this show is profits over people. Profits over people.
Oh, and if all the businesses could combine together and take all of our money, I'm sure they would.
The same banks that are notorious for junk fees.
Yeah.
The same banks that are notorious for overdraw fees.
Yeah.
You withdraw your account. You overdraw your account. You get popped with an overdraw fee.
You overdraw your account by 25 cents and you get charged
A $35 overdraw fee.
Yeah, I think it's disgusting.
Okay,
but you're talking about
saying the same mythology and thinking is not going to say this
Methodology.
guy's got whatever the word is. You're saying the same guy, the same thinking is not going to be like he's got an app on his phone, he's got a transaction history of buying these goods, he's got this kind of cash in his bank account, surge in surveillance pricing. Come on.
Whose AI is it though? The banks or the place that you're shopping?
Why can't it be both?
Because that would require the bank to provide extremely sensitive information to any place that you go and shop.
And you don't think
find that to be outlandish.
Okay, the same banks that get hacked all the time?
That's fair, but you're not talking about hacked information. You're talking about the bank working with
The same technology that shut down how many flights on Friday across the country?
that's not the same technology as
Just-
what's in the bank.
I'm making broad links here.
And again, we're not
Comments are coming in
And
fast
again, we're not
furious.
talking about hacks. We're talking about working together with
I'm shocked that you're taking this stance.
because
I'm shocked that you're taking this stance. Georgia Gilmer says this is why we need cash and checks still.
yeah, I agree.
Vanessa Parkhill says this is why you should leave your phone at home and conduct your business with cash. Vanessa Parkhill, her photo on screen, Georgia Gilmer's photo on screen. Parkhill says, the Queen of Earlysville, the Amazon Fresh in DC has no cash registers. You get a code from Amazon to get in.
Yeah.
Somehow it knows what you put in your bag. Then you walk out with your stuff and they hit the card linked to your Amazon account. They could totally do what you're saying in this scenario, Jerry. Perfect example. Perfect example. Carly Wagner.
I don't know if I agree with that.
She says, if this concept sounds surprising, check into ESG scores. How long until everyone starts getting social scores like in China?
Yeah.
Neil Williamson, his photo on screen. It's more likely it will work in reverse. Discounts will be offered on your favorite products. Already happening with preferred shopper cards.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I'm not denying that it happens in reverse.
That is largely how it's been used, and the outrage and the outcry is, not surprising. But in reality, I believe Neil Williamson is correct, and most of what it's being used for is, like you said, with happy hours. It's a way of giving discounts.
Deep Throat has good, compelling commentary. Surge pricing is fine. Discriminatory pricing is not fine. Travel companies always tried to price discriminate, but they did it without mining your data. For example, back in the day, the flights with Saturday night stays cost less than ones without because airlines figured out that Saturday night stayers were tourists and more price sensitive than those flying during the week. But they
Yeah.
didn't do this based on your identity.
Right.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Federal Trade Commission is looking into it for a reason.
I remember taking a picture. I don't know if I still have it, but it was. I saw something where it was offering to let you pay with your hand, and that freaked me out because, like some of our viewers have been saying, leave your phone at home, pay with cash. Imagine when your identity and bank accounts and cards and whatever else are identifiable by you swiping your hand over something.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That's terrifying. It's terrifying. The show was great today. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, let's see. What was I? CASPCA. This is great. This is a counterpoint to our rather scary discussions today. The CASPCA is offering guinea pigs free of charge.
Thank you. Guinea pigs free of charge
Yeah.
at the SPCA.
Run, don't walk.
We had a guinea pig named Zebra. She hated our guts. Whenever we let her out of the cage as kids, she ran away from us and left a trail of poop everywhere. Zebra the guinea pig.
I would too. My sister had one.
If you're interested in the Take It Away Sandwich Shop or one of the many other businesses in our purview of potential transactions, send me a DM. I'm available on all the social platforms. Judah Wickower on point per usual. My name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love Seville Show. My friends, thank you kindly for joining us so long.